Good afternoon. Last year, Secretary Blinken, Secretary Mayorkas, and I traveled to Mexico City to meet with our partners and colleagues in the Mexican government. Together, our two countries launched the U.S.-Mexico Bicentennial Framework. Today, we had the opportunity to reflect on the work we had done over the past year and to share our commitment to addressing the shared security challenges facing both of our countries. The first topic we covered during our dialogue discussions today was also the first goal we outlined in our framework last year, to protect our people. That goal is the foundation of our partnership and the thread that runs through all of our work. As part of that effort, the Justice Department is working to meet the crisis of substance abuse within our own borders, with a particular focus on fentanyl. We are providing resources to help communities with prevention, harm reduction, treatment, and recovery services. Our second goal, to prevent trans-border crime, is an essential element of both of our countries' national security. Our agents and prosecutors are working to dismantle the dangerous cartels that bring deadly fentanyl into our communities in both countries. And we are working to disrupt both the supply and the demand of fentanyl. Just last month, the DEA concluded a 4-month operation that resulted in the removal of 36 million lethal doses of fentanyl from American communities. To strengthen our efforts to combat human smuggling and trafficking groups, the Department launched Joint Task Force Alpha last year. And to crack down on the criminal firearms trafficking pipelines that flood communities in both of our countries with illegal guns, the Department has set up cross-jurisdictional strike forces across the United States to disrupt these networks from start to finish. We have instructed our prosecutors and law enforcement agents to prioritize prosecutions of those who are responsible for the greatest violence, including criminal gun traffickers. And we have worked to enhance cooperation and bilateral information sharing on illegal firearms investigations. Finally, our third goal, to pursue criminal networks, particularly drug cartels, is an area of intense focus and prosecutorial resources for the Justice Department. A critical aspect of our work is our joint efforts to shut down illicit financial networks, which we know are the lifeblood of these criminal organizations. We will continue to work closely with our partners in Mexico to investigate, arrest, extradite, and prosecute individual members of dangerous transnational criminal organizations as well. On behalf of the Justice Department, our prosecutors, and each of our law enforcement components, I want to thank the government of Mexico for their continued partnership on all of these fronts, and I look forward to our work together in the coming years. Secretary Rodriguez.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. The high-level security dialogue that was held today, the diplomatic missions of the U.S. and Mexico, public officials from both countries, represent the commitment and the conviction that both countries mean to continue to tackle together the cross-border security challenge for the benefit of our citizens. Working together at the international level based on mutual respect is delivering. We are closing ranks in the fight against drug trafficking, which has caused so much violence in our country and has caused a health problem for the United States. During this meeting, we discussed progress made and tasks that we are taking home with us. The pillars of this cooperation are focused on fighting against criminal networks that are disrupting peace in both countries and on making sure that our communities have peaceful, sustainable lives. Mexico and the United States face the challenge of reinforcing our joint work to avoid the use of synthetic drugs and making more efforts in order to ban the operations of fentanyl trafficking by transnational organized crime. We can say that the bicentennial framework is delivering for the region, and therefore we commit to continue to work together in order to provide more and better results and peaceful outcomes. It is with this in mind that the Mexican cabinet, led by President López Obrador, has two major channels. One, to interfere with the channels of drug trafficking groups using intelligence in order to dismantle structures and arrest the main actors responsible for violence and fighting drug trafficking, weapons trafficking, and human smuggling. In Mexico, the results are astounding. For example, when it comes to the Mexican fight for zero impunity, we reached the highest number of arrests in history. We went from 65,149 members of criminal organizations, 5,900 of these were members of organized criminal networks. Many of them caused violence, and this was done under the Zero Impunity, Zero Corruption program. Our other task is to deal with the causes that lead to violence, poverty, disenfranchisement, by creating public health, education programs, anti-poverty programs, and there is a campaign in the media that will be held for preventing addiction in both countries. Because these actions are necessary in order to work on the prevention side of this issue. Finally, I would like to say that, as you can see, our national security strategy is extremely important. We must continue to strengthen our lines of effort because, as the first woman who is Secretary of Security in my country, I'm proud to be a part of this cabinet, and I am proud to be a part of the work of the bicentennial framework. We say that Mexico is not condemned to war. Mexico is destined for peace.